Our national economy brings us great news. There's good data out there. Businesses are flourishing. Production is increasing. Entrepreneurship is on the rise. Why? Because we've taken burdens off of American free enterprise, and we've encouraged entrepreneurship. And that, in all honesty, has helped many states around our great nation. California received a windfall of $10 billion due to that economic growth. Illinois, $1.6 billion in new revenues due to economic growth. It has other benefits that impact everyone. Unemployment across all categories is at historic and record lows. More people are working, that grows the economy, which puts money into government's pockets. That is how we get out of this situation. We grow our economy. But there's also cautionary tale in those numbers. When we talk of states receiving higher incomes due to a growing economy, the caution comes from New York, who passed a similar bit of legislation to tax the wealthy. What did Mayor Bloomberg say in February when New York's budget was hit by a decline of $2.3 billion? Well, we taxed the rich and they left. We heard from the other side of the aisle that this is a hard and difficult vote. I argue it's the easiest vote you are all ever going to take. Why? Because the hard work, the hard votes, are on the reform side, the things that people want to see when we want to provide them with economic stability and an optimistic future, in a place where they can tell their kids to stay here, go to school here, instead of fleeing the state for prosperity elsewhere. Those votes along the lines of anyone that's had to deal with our services that we deliver. If you're a parent of special needs, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you go to the state agency and you sit there for hours and you get the runaround and you still don't have an answer. We are extremely inefficient in how we deliver our state services, and yet we're not talking about reforming that. When we're talking about state universities and how they're so expensive, and what can we do to make them more affordable for Illinois residents to stay here, we're not talking about the procurement code. We're not putting that hard vote on the board. Instead, you're going to take the easy way out. You're going to dig deeper into people's pockets, and they're going to leave. Right now, our economy nationally is doing quite well. But guess what? It won't always be that way. Illinois is ill-prepared for the next recession, and I hope it doesn't come for quite some time, but when it does, under this tax strategy, under this tax plan, under this proposal with no reforms, I'm not sure Illinois can survive. So your rates that right now you say are only on the wealthy and those that can afford it, when that recession comes, I guarantee you're going to have to lower those rates and hit the middle class that you so desperately want to protect, but all you're doing is kicking the can down the road until the time when they can least afford it, you're going to hit them even harder. We also heard that there's dark money driving this. The only dark money I know that's being spent right now is the man that sits down in 200. Think Big Illinois is spending millions of dollars saying this is a fair tax. That's the dark money. You know what else you should do for the governor? Is you should listen to him when he answered the question about fair maps. And this was his answer when he said, and I quote, to the fair maps question, yes, I will pledge to veto. We should amend the Constitution to create an independent commission to draw legislative maps. That would be a really easy vote for most of us, but yet the hard work remains. Instead of the reforms we desperately need to save our great state, we're just going to drive it more and more and deeper into the ditch. Our brain drain will continue. Our brightest students will continue to flee the state. More and poorer will leave. Congressionally, we will lose 2 seats, and yet we'll have nothing to show on any reforms. This is a bad policy that will have devastating impacts for years. Vote no.